Kumusta? Kumusta? Welcome to the Jay Roga Show, the first conservative podcast in the Philippines. We're protecting the Filipino family from woke ideology. A few days ago, ay na-interview ni Dr. Jordan Peterson, si Elon Musk, sa X. And nag-uusap sila. And may isang highlight dito sa pag-uusap nila that became viral. At ito yung tungkol sa anak ni Elon who now identify as trans. And very sakit sa puso. Mabigat sa puso panoorin tong video na ito. Might as well panoorin lang natin ng sama-sama kaysa i-explain ko sa inyo. Alright, take it away, Elon.
If we allow children to take permanent actions when they're 10, 12, 14 years old, they will do things that they subsequently greatly regret.
Yes, I've interviewed a couple of people who've done exactly that, and it's pretty damn painful.
So, so I think you during.
Why are you willing to make this an issue? Do you think?
I mean, well, it like happened to one of my issue. It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This was before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. And you know, I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie right from the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. And also, if there's a higher suicide rate, the reason is because of the underlying depression and anxiety, and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too. And they're too cowardly to come out and say it. Right. And so and then we end up in exactly when I saw that lie start to propagate, it just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It's like, I see. So you're telling parents that unless they agree to this radical transformation, that their children are going to die. And you think that's moral, and you think that's true. That is so pathological that it's almost incomprehensible. I can't imagine anything worse. I can't imagine a therapist doing anything worse than that, or sitting by idly and remaining silent while his colleagues are doing it. It's pathetic.
Pause muna. So, yan ang gusto ko kay Dr. Jordan Peterson pag nagko-conduct siya ng interview. Marami din siyang insights dun sa interview niya na talagang nag-uusap lang sila, and hopefully ma-master ko ito, pero hindi ako ganun katalino kagaya niya. But dito sa Pilipinas, karamihan sa mga nag-identify as transgender dito sa Pilipinas, karamihan sa kanila ay matatanda na. Dito sa case ni Elon, di ko alam kung anong edad nung anak niyang si Xavier nung nag-transition siya. Sabi ni Elon na trick siya, which is ito ang sentiments ng maraming parents. Binibigyan sila ng false choice. Ano gusto mo? A dead son or an alive daughter? Yun yung false choice na binibigay sa kanila, dahil kung hindi raw ay malaking chance na mag-suicide. And ang sinasabi ni Dr. Peterson, and nabasa ko din ito sa aklat ni Dr. Miriam Grossman na na-interview ko rin dito sa podcast, ay itong gender dysphoria, this is a symptom ng isa pang underlying problem na hindi na-solve. And ito yung reason kung bakit mataas ang suicide rate. Posibleng depression talaga yung problema or anxiety, pero symptom lang ng isang underlying na mas malalim pang problema, yung gender dysphoria. Dito sa Pilipinas, wala pa tayo sa point na ang mga kabataan ay may rapid onset gender dysphoria. Ito yung tinatawag na ROGD, kung saan sa gitna ng kanilang high school, bigla silang magta-transition, mag-iba ng gender. Kasi marami sa mga may gender dysphoria ay bata pa lang makikita mo na yung kanilang yung issue. Makikita mo na may gender dysphoria siya bata pa lang. Pero sa US ay palasak na ito. Marami nang nagta-transition kahit na walang any underlying symptom of gender dysphoria symptom habang lumalaki sila. Talagang yung mga magulang doon, walang kaalam-alam, tapos boom, change na, transition na. And most of them are because of influencers na nakikita nila sa online. Okay, so continue natin. Panoorin natin ulit si Elon. Let's continue the video.
It's incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
It won't stop till that happens.
Yeah.
It'll just go underground. Puberty blockers are being accessed online by kids all the time through non-medical channels. So yeah,
Right.
It's not going to stop. Yeah. Okay, so I see. So that's
So I was
personal
tricked into doing this, and it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So.
Yeah, and there's lots of people in that situation now.
Right.
It's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so
okay, so sige. Yun na muna si Elon, and ito yung reason kung bakit inis na inis ako sa mga Catholic schools. Kino-call out ko yung mga Catholic schools last Pride Month na sila pa yung nagpapalaganap ng lies na maaaring mapagpariwara sa mga kabataan natin. Ito yung reason kung bakit every time na nag-fly sila ng pride flag, which is, alam naman nila this is a promotion of a disordered lifestyle, di ba? Instead na tulungan nila itong mga kabataan nila, itong mga kabataan na ito, yung mga estudyante, to accept their body na binigay sa kanila ng Diyos, pinupush pa nila, kinukonsinti pa nila na i-hate ang body nila. Dahil ito yung nagagawa ng gender ideology. It encourage you to hate your body. Kapag pinanganak kang lalaki, ang ginagawa ng gender ideology is kainisan mo yung sarili mong katawan to a point na gugustuhin mo mag-transition, uminom ng hormones para mabago ang yung katawan mo. Kung gusto pa nga ng iba putulin ang kanilang ari, di ba? Kung accessible lang at mura lang ang sex reassignment surgery ay gagawin nila ito. So yun ang reason kung bakit nakakainis tong mga Catholic schools na ito, dahil sa pangungunsinti nila sa mga bagay na ito. Hindi ko pa sinasabi yung mapapariwara din ang mga women. Sila they will be put in danger kapag inalaw ang trans woman, biological male, sa loob ng CR na pambabae. And sa women's sports. Ayan. So panoorin naman natin ang sagot ng isang detransitioner na si Chloe Cole. So take it away, Chloe.
So I want to address this clip as a detransitioner who personally has been through the process of medically transitioning as a child.
before we continue, medyo na gusto ko lang sabihin na natutuwa ako sa pag-pronounce ni Chloe Cole ng transitioning, detranching, or detran, uh, tranching kung transitioning, detranching kung detransitioning. So, nung in-interview din siya ni Matt Fradd, ito din yung isa sa napansin ko.
I mean, it really reminds me of me and my mom and my dad's experience with these psychologists and these physicians who we were seeing at the time. They really drilled this idea hard into my mom and dad that if I were denied this, if I weren't allowed to medically transition at the young age that I was 13 when I started the medical process, that I would commit suicide, that I would be gone. It was basically the premise of having a dead daughter versus a living, happy, thriving transgender son. And of course, they did not fully disclose the actual extent of how these treatments could and would affect me in my development, in my physical and psychological health. My mom and dad and I had no idea what we were really in for.
So before we continue, kanina si Elon Musk, kinakwento niya ang kanyang anak na lalaki, si Xavier, na nag-transition para maging trans woman. So si Chloe Cole naman, baliktad. Siya ay biological woman, girl. Nung time na yon, 13 daw siya, ay gusto niya mag-transition sa pagiging lalaki. And nag-undergo siya sa hormones at sa double mastectomy. Tinanggal niya yung pinatanggal. And the trick sila na maipatanggal yung kanyang breast. And ngayon, hindi na siya makakapag-nurse ng anak. Kung sakaling magkakaanak siya, hindi na niya mabibigyan ng gatas. Okay, moving on.
And I went through this as the child, as the patient, but I can't fathom just the pain of being a parent and watching this happen to your own child. I'm sorry that this happened to you and your son, Elon. But I'll tell you what I say to my own dad. And that is that you might feel a lot of guilt for signing off on this. But it was at a time where you weren't given any other option. And you were just doing the best with what you were given. And that wasn't very much. What these doctors are doing to children and their families is evil. It's unconscionable. And I'm so grateful that in spite of that pain that you're going through, you still have chosen to speak up. And I'm so incredibly grateful for your conviction in fighting against this movement that is tearing apart families like ours. Thank you, Elon.
All right. So, very heartwarming yung sinabi ni Chloe Cole. And it's so sad na kailangan pa umaksyon ang pinakamayaman na tao sa buong mundo para malabanan itong tinatawag na woke mind virus. Ito yung tawag ni Elon Musk dito. Tayo sa The J. Roga Show, we're fighting the woke ideology. Medyo matagal na nating linalabanan ang woke ideology. But this time, si Elon Musk is committed to this. Kami din ni AJ sa Anthony James Perez, his book, yung nasa likod ko, The Man You're Meant to Be. Kaya kami nag-team up para magkaroon ng The Sentinel PH. Is gusto na namin talagang head-on labanan itong woke mind virus. which is sadly na nagiging nakita natin sa mga Catholic schools as well. And itong sinabi ni Chloe Cole, which is ito definitely yung nararamdaman ni Elon Musk, na discuss ito ni Dr. Miriam Grossman, and nakausap natin si Dr. Miriam Grossman sa isang episode. Ito yung aklat niya, and here chapter 10, Mourning the Living, which is ito yung ginagawa ni Elon Musk. And nakwento ni Dr. Miriam Grossman, balikan niyo yung episode na yon, kung saan nakwento niya na may mga silent voices dito sa laban na ito against the woke mind virus, against gender ideology. Mga voices na hindi masyadong naririnig. At ito yung boses ng mga parents. And nakwento ni Dr. Miriam Grossman na ang dami, na nagkaroon siya ng Zoom meeting with around 50 parents. At ang iba pa nga dito sa mga parents na ito, hindi pwedeng maipakita sa anak nila na nakipag-Zoom meeting siya about this problem. Nagtatago either sa CR or sa basement. Then, naiiyak sila. Kinakwento kay Dr. Grossman na itong nangyari sa kanila ay parang namatayan sila ng bata, ng anak, gaya ng sinasabi ni Elon Musk. And balikan niyo yung episode na yon. Dito sa aklat, and I'm sure hindi nyo nababasa to, pero meron akong highlight dito, which I'll read with you. Sabi dito, can we be honest? Sabi ng isang parent. I hate to call them triggers. They are so much more than that. I prefer trauma-induced terror moments. And traumatic din talaga para sa parents ang mga ito. And dito sa aklat, makita nyo medyo maliit, pero ito yung mga iba't ibang triggers or trauma-induced terror moments na nakapagpalungkot sa kanila every time na na-encounter nila, and babasahin ko para sa inyo. Itong mga parents na ito, tuwing nakakita sila ng name, seeing his name nung anak nila on an old mail that they receive, natutrauma sila. Tuwing pupunta sila sa young men's clothing aisle sa department store, natu-trigger din sila. Hearing her younger sisters say he, him, kapag ginagamit yung preferred pronouns nila, masakit para sa parents yon. Photos of friends, grandchildren, seeing her with a beard, and hearing her deep voice. So, biruin mo, kung ikaw ay isang parent na nagpalaki ng batang babae, tapos biglang nag-transition siya into a boy, a male, para kang namatayan, di ba? Ito pa yung mga ibang triggers nila. Baby clothing, the word journey. So, every time na siguro kumakanta si Arnel Pineda ng "Don't Stop Believing." Na joke lang, pero serious to. Young couples with their child. So, yung heart daw nila, it aches to return to those innocent years. Recipes. My son was a foodie. Foodie daw yung son niya. My phone, all the shock from him has been by text. Kaya pag nakikita daw yung phone, this is traumatic. The word trans. Kahit daw sa salitang transformation, Trans-Canada Highway, transit, medyo natitrigger na daw itong mga parents na to. Other people's normal kids, the song Sweet Caroline, not being able to speak my truth, the words pronoun and ally, grocery stores, Christmas cards, DEI trainings, the clothing I was wearing when he made the announcement, walking through Target, happy children like mine happy children like mine once was, photos of myself when I was happy before this began, putting my head on the pillow at night. Guys, and mga Pinoy, kinakausap ko kayo, mga Pinoy. The reason na gumagawa tayo ng mga episodes dito sa The J. Aruga Show is gusto ko nang i-warn ang bansa natin na sana wag na tayo pumunta dito sa ganitong problema. Na yung si Jude, yung nagpahiya ng isang waiter, naging mitsa ito para magdalawang isip yung mga tao sa Soji Bill, and I hope tuloy-tuloy na. I hope tuloy-tuloy na dahil hindi maganda. Hindi maganda, and I'm praying na tayo sa Pilipinas would be the last bastion of sanity sa buong mundo. And sana hindi tayo magaya sa mga Western countries na ito. Sana hindi too late. Okay, so let's leave it there. This has been another episode of the J. Aruga Show. At the end of the day, it will be night. Goodbye. Kumusta? I'm J. Aruga of the J. Aruga Show podcast. I would like to promote this event called Prayerful Hearts, Faithful Ventures. It's a one-day event on August 25, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. organized by 4 Catholic businesses who advocate sharing the faith through a welcoming and safe space. Picture this: rosaries, Catholic-themed kiddie items, personalized bracelets and necklaces, veils, holy hugs, prayer books for kids with confession guides, stickers, pencils, and home decor, storybooks, novels, graphic novels, comics, manhwa, apologetic books, books for parents and family, books on theology and spirituality. Come unwind, rejoice, and rediscover the joy of doing business with God in your heart. This is more than an invitation. It's a warm embrace to celebrate faith and fellowship. For more details, I will put a link of the event on this podcast episode show notes.